Hi, and welcome to Mark's motivational podcast for this another Authors Tuesday. So today I'm delighted to be joined by another guest, Felicia. I hope I'm pronouncing that correct. Am I, Felicia?
Yes. Hi, everyone. I'm Dr. Felicia.
Felicia, yeah. So you're very welcome along. Thanks a lot for joining me.
Yep.
Yeah. So would you like to tell the listeners a little bit about yourself and your writing, please?
So usually I'll go by a dentist by the day and a
Mm,
storyteller by night. So
Yeah.
I am a dentist during the day, but I write children's book as a hobby.
Great. That's brilliant. Because your book looks great, The Secret of the Tooth Fairy. Do you want to talk a little bit about that? Is that your first book, is it?
Yes, this is my first book. So I developed an interest to write children's book, dental related children's book. So I would like to bring dental knowledge
Mm,
in a different perspective as a profession, to introduce children to learn about things, and also to motivate them to spark certain interest, especially in a dental field. So my book, The Secret of Tooth Fairyland, it's about two topic that's very close to my heart, which is climate change and
mm,
also oral health. So yeah.
yeah. Mm. Yeah, and I hope it's doing really well for you. I hope the book is doing good for you at the moment. Like, because I love what you've written about, because it's such a big thing in the world right now, the climate change, and then plus then you're concentrating on oral health for children as well. So that's really good. It's ticking two big boxes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so one of the reasons that I was inspired to write this book as well, it's also because I wanted to motivate and encourage children to take care of their teeth in the
Mm,
different ways. So there are a lot of times we tell the kids, this is for your own good, this is for your own health and so. But I wanted to come in another perspective, like what if you brush your teeth, you could actually help other people. Kids are always so generous. They are always so excited to help the rest of it. So that
yeah.
might be a extra boost of motivations.
That's great. Yeah, because I'm looking forward to picking up the book myself for my kids. So so you have another customer as well. Yeah. So what I'll do as well, I'll share the links to your books on the show notes as well for anybody that's listening to pick up a copy. So that's
Thank
great. Thanks a lot for sharing that with us. That's brilliant. No problem. And have you always written yourself, Felicia? Have you always written, or where did the journey begin for yourself?
Oh, so I've always liked writing, but how did I decided, or how did I get inspired to start writing children's book? Was because in my practice, I usually see a lot of kids and children's. There are a lot of books that actually talk about going to a dentist, introducing children to visit a dentist. But what I realize, it's a little bit lack in the market. It's like there is not enough materials or resources to tell children what happened if they had a decay. So
Mm,
a dental caries or dental decay is actually one of the biggest chronic disease in among children in the whole wide world. But there's very limited resources that could address it. So my first book idea was to introduce children what to expect in terms of having feelings, so they do not get a misconception from what they watch from the cartoon TV, like the doctors bringing a big drill and the pliers. But I wanted to introduce in a perspective whereby we are actually trying to help instead of being your
mm,
enemy or trying to harm you. We are actually wanted to help. So that was my first book idea,
mm.
which unfortunately it will get a little bit delayed. So I had another idea, and that went much more smoothly. So my first book idea, it's still something that I'm currently working on. So that will be launched hopefully in 2022 then.
Brilliant. Yeah. No, I love the idea. It's really good because because a lot of people, as you say, like even children and adults would be wouldn't be too big fans of going to the dentist, you know. So by explain, a bit apprehensive about going, you know. So so that's a perfect book for people to kind of think, not really about the drill sort of thing. It's about trying to protect your teeth and make them healthy. So that's a really good concept. So I love it. It's really really cool. And where can people buy your book? Is it it's on all the major platforms? Is it?
It's on Amazon. It's on
Mhm.
Amazon mainly.
Yeah,
You can just go on Amazon and search for The Secret of Tooth Fairyland, and there they are.
yeah, brilliant. Yeah, that's great. And could I just ask you as well, has COVID been a kind of an obstacle for yourself for your writing? Have you found the COVID situation has been a bit of a barrier, or how have you coped yourself with it yourself, Felicia?
Oh, actually, I would say producing this book is one of the blessing in disguise from
Okay.
COVID, because that was the time that we were forced to shut down. We wasn't able to practice, and I, in fact, I was getting a little bit anxious, in like with all the unknowns and continuous lockdown. So Malaysia started to have a 2 weeks lockdown, and then it another 2 weeks, and then end up to 6 weeks and even more. So I think we had like 2.5 months of lockdown
God.
since March 2020. So it was that during that period of time where I decided, you know what, I'm just gonna work on this project, and that gave me a lot of motivations and a lot of distractions, and I'm so glad that I've made this thing. So, uh, well, I would say it's one of the blessing that I got from
Mhm.
this one.
Yeah. No, no, it's a great point you make there because, you know, a lot of people have kind of done done stuff to kind of help them through this COVID situation, like writing books or learning new talents and all that kind of stuff. So it's good to kind of
Okay.
concentrate on stuff that's been positive. I know there's a lot of negatives, people getting sick and all that kind of stuff. Like my heart goes to anybody that's been out, to anybody that's been affected by that in that way. But as you say, it's good to kind of think of the positive stuff that you've done, isn't it? Really, Felicia?
Correct, correct. It kind of pushes out of our comfort zone,
Mm,
and make us explore things that we never thought that we could be. So
mm,
I believe everyone had a hidden talent, and everyone is more
mm.
capable than what they think they are. So all they need to do is a little bit of courage, and maybe a little bit push in terms of environment, motivations from people
Mm.
around you, and they could
Yeah.
make it definitely.
Yeah, it's like betting on yourself. It's important to kind of bet on yourself to do well. So the more you bet on yourself, the easier it gets the next time. So,
Exactly. I
so
agree that
yeah,
100%.
yeah, yeah, brilliant. And then, no, this is great. And kind of, kind of ask as well. You kind of mentioned this already, but what kind of motivates yourself in your writing? If you to say one thing that keeps you motivated, just say you find a bit of a struggle at times, like you hit a metaphorical wall, or you kind of get a block. Can you talk about what kind of motivates you to keep going? If you,
Mm, I would say if uh, one of the biggest motivation is to get the message out there. So I'm inspired to write dental related books, and instead of me educating patients that come through the doors, I wish the message could get spread without me even meeting people in person, because that's the limit how many people you could meet even in your whole life, right? So
yeah,
so
yeah,
writing is one of the ways, definitely one of the ways that you could, and it helps my colleague as well, my professions colleague, like other dentists or dental hygienists, and it could be a tool, a resources that bridge between a topic that people fear about, people that's avoiding talking about. So I would say that that's the motivation. When I thought of, this could bring so much advantage or so much help with it, then yeah. But I usually don't push like rush things through. I like to take things slowly. So
Great.
if there's like a block, I'll just like step one step back, and then take some time off, and then just working on again.
That sounds like a great strategy. That sounds like a really good strategy. Yeah, that's brilliant. I must have a go at that myself when you feel like you're. Yeah, that's brilliant, Felicia. Thanks very much. That's brilliant. Yeah, and yeah, this has been great talking to you. What type of books do you like reading yourself? And if you're kind of, what kind of books interest you? That kind of you got inspiration from yourself? Could you think of?
Uh, from myself, I like different category books. Definitely, I love novels, and also uh, personal growth books. Personal growth book is something that
Hmm,
I read more lately, and
yeah,
also poetry.
very good. Yeah, yeah. Do you have any favorite poets that you read? Have you any favorite kind of poets that you like reading their
It's
books?
more towards Chinese or Mandarin one. So
Oh,
yeah.
very
So
good.
actually
Yeah.
English is not my primary language. So
Okay.
Chinese is my primary language, and then English is I would say secondary, because basically everyone in Malaysia is very capable in terms of language. So it's a
Mm,
common thing. It's a common thing for us. Like if you to speak up to 4 to 5 language, even 6 or 7,
wow.
it's very
Great.
common
That's
over
brilliant.
here. Yeah.
Yeah, that's brilliant. Because yeah, because like in Ireland, it's different because we have obviously got our Irish language, but like
Mm,
not a lot of people in Ireland can speak it too well. But it's
really?
probably because it's in school. But it's funny when you get older, like when you leave school, then my interest only has peaked like for
Mm,
learning
mm,
my own
mm.
language. So it's great. Like it's brilliant to have. Like, do you have a strategy yourself that to learning languages? Have you learned that in school, or just something
Uh,
interesting in myself? Yeah.
so I think one of the biggest biggest advantage as a Malaysian is the community. So we are really a multicultural community.
Mm,
So
yeah.
we had different races of friends. So uh, to be able to live here and to communicate daily, you're required to you are required to speak easily 3 language.
Mm,
Bahasa, Malay is our national language. So as a
lovely.
Chinese, we definitely speak Mandarin. And then
Yeah.
English is an international language. And then there's also dialect like Cantonese,
Mm,
Hakka. So, and also, I don't speak Indian or Hindi, but there are communities around us that could speak that as well. So I think
mm,
being in this environment, it's a given privilege, I would say. So a lot of
yeah.
things we did not we wouldn't need to work too hard to it, because like it's more like a general thing, like a inborn thing. You're just forced to pick
Yeah.
them up.
It's great, isn't it? That's absolutely brilliant. Yeah, yeah. Because I'll tell you a very funny story. There was a film that was made, like, and some of the thing came from China, and they learned Irish completely, the Gaelic language completely. And he went into a pub in Ireland and ordered a pint
Uh,
of Guinness, or in Irish, and your man goes, "No, sorry, we don't speak your language here," But he was speaking Irish, so it was it was really funny, yeah. Yeah, it's apparently a true story. Yeah, very funny. But no, that's a bit off track. But no, sorry. But listen, it's been great having you on the podcast today. And so I'm gonna share all your links. And if ever you're writing more books, just send them to me, and I can put them on the show notes for people to find.
Sure, it's such a great time talking to you, and
Yeah,
it's such an honor and pleasure to be invited on your show.
yeah. No, it's been brilliant, and I wish you all the best in your future writing as well. Your future writing and your books. I hope the books do really well for you.
Thank you.
Yeah. And is there anything else I haven't asked you, Felicia, today that you'd like to kind of say about your books? Is there anything else you'd like to say before we finish up?
Very good, very good.
Yeah. Okay. So listen, thanks very much again, and thank you everybody for
Thank
tuning
you
in
for
today's pod.
having me.
Thank you. You're very welcome. So it's been great talking to you. Thank you. And thanks a million for tuning in to today's podcast, Mark's Motivational Podcast, Authors Tuesday with Felicia. How do you spell your pronounce your surname? Felicia? Yee. Perfect. That's great. Yeah, brilliant. Okay. So thanks again, and we'll talk to you real soon. Thank you.